Chosen one. You feel the weight, the exhaustion, the invisible chains that keep you from even getting out of bed. But I must tell you this, what you are experiencing is not random. It is not weakness. It is a sign. Yes, beloved. The fact that you are here, listening to this voice right now, is proof that destiny has its hand upon you. There is a war over your soul, over your purpose, over your very breath. And the heaviness you feel each morning is not just fatigue. It is spiritual resistance, pressing against the greatness you carry. Listen closely. The bed that seems to hold you captive is not your prison. It is your battlefield. It is where heaven whispers, "Rise, for you are chosen." The darkness that tried to suffocate your will cannot erase the light planted within you. And tonight, I will reveal why this struggle is not your ending, but the beginning of your rising. I will show you how the desert, the fire, and even the silence have been shaping you, preparing you, and marking you for something greater than you can imagine. But hear me clearly. The last truth, the one I will share at the very end, is the key most chosen ones miss. And once you see it, everything, your battles, your tears, your delays, will make sense in the light of your divine calling. So do not leave before the end. Stay, because your destiny is hidden within these words. If your spirit recognizes this, act now. Like this message, subscribe, and type "I am rising" in the comments. This is not just YouTube engagement. It is a prophetic declaration, a seal upon your spirit, a confirmation that you are ready to step into your next season. Chosen one, this is your hour. This is your awakening. You've been asking yourself, why is it so hard just to rise? Why does even getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain? The weight that pins you down is not laziness. It is not weakness. It is spiritual gravity, evidence of the war around your destiny. Picture a bird with wings made to soar, but trapped in a cage. Its body remembers flight, yet the bars press against its soul. Your bed has felt like that cage. A place meant for rest, now turned into chains. But here is the hidden revelation. The cage is not your ending, it is the cocoon. A cocoon looks like a tomb to the outside world, still, silent, motionless, but within, transformation is taking place. The butterfly cannot be born without that confinement. And in the same way, the heaviness you feel is not burying you, it is reshaping you. Your inability to rise is not proof of defeat. It is proof you are carrying a weight unseen by the world. What breaks others cannot break you. It may delay you. It may distract you, but it cannot erase the treasure inside. This is why your mornings feel like warfare, because they are. The enemy knows that if you rise, if you move even one step in faith, he loses ground. So he presses with heaviness, confusion, despair, not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous. Paul wrote, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair." 2 Corinthians 4:8. Even when pressed down, you are not destroyed. Even when delayed, you are not denied. Your survival itself is the testimony that God's hand is still on you. The bed is both battlefield and altar. It is where the war tries to silence you, but also where God whispers, "Arise." Every time you push yourself to rise, even when your body screams no, heaven records it as victory, because faith is not measured by ease, but by persistence. The fact that you pressed play on this message proves one thing: you are still fighting, still searching, still hungry for truth, and that hunger is evidence you have not been abandoned. It is proof you are marked. Now pause. Place your hand on your heart. Feel the rhythm, the quiet persistence of life within you. That heartbeat is heaven's declaration. I am not finished with you. But here is the mystery. If the weight of the bed is warfare, if your struggle is evidence of calling, then why does God allow his servants to face such heaviness? Why not clear the resistance and let you soar freely? The answer is hidden in the story of the prophets who came before you. Elijah, Moses, Jeremiah, all faced moments so heavy they begged for release. And yet it was in that collapse that God revealed the next stage of destiny, which leads us to Elijah, under the broom tree, exhausted, broken, unable to rise, and yet visited by an angel who whispered the words that changed everything. Arise and eat, for the journey is too much for you. Could it be that in your weakness, heaven is preparing an encounter? That the bed you despise has become the very altar where God will feed your soul? Stay with me, because in the next part, we go beneath that broom tree with Elijah and discover why collapse is never the end, but the setup for divine intervention. Let me take you beneath the shade of a lonely broom tree in the wilderness. A prophet sits there, trembling, exhausted, undone. It is Elijah, the man who once stood boldly on Mount Carmel, who called down fire from heaven before a nation, the prophet whose prayers shut the skies and opened them again, a man of courage, zeal, and unshakable faith. And yet here, beneath this tree, he is broken. He whispers into the dust, "It is enough, Lord, take my life, I can't go on." Do you see it? Even the strongest collapse. Even those filled with divine fire can sink into weariness. This is your confirmation. You are not disqualified because of exhaustion. You are walking the same path prophets walked before you. The wilderness ground became Elijah's bed. Like you, he could not rise, but heaven did not abandon him. The word says an angel touched him, saying, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too much for you." Notice, no rebuke, no demand to keep moving. The angel came with bread, with water, with rest. Because heaven knows the journey is long and strength must be renewed. Receive this truth. Your collapse is not the end. It is the place of divine visitation. When you think you cannot move forward, that is when the Spirit comes closest. Even now, the whisper reaches you. Arise, eat, rest, be strengthened. Elijah thought the broom tree was his grave, but it became his turning point. There, his human strength ended and divine strength began. Your broom tree moment is not the final chapter. It is the threshold where weakness becomes the doorway for God's power. Paul declared, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Then he said, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." 2 Corinthians 12:9. Your weakness is not failure. It is the open space where heaven chooses to dwell. Think carefully. Elijah's despair led him to say, "I cannot continue." But after the angel strengthened him, he traveled 40 days and nights until he reached Mount Horeb, the mountain of God. From collapse to encounter, from despair to revelation. The same pattern is unfolding in you. You thought your inability to rise disqualified you, but it only qualified you for intervention. You thought exhaustion meant abandonment, but it confirmed you were marked for greater things. Now, consider your own broom tree moments. Those mornings you could not rise, those nights you begged for it all to end, and yet, you are still here, breathing, listening, seeking. Why? Because the angel of the Lord has preserved you. You were fed bread you did not see, given water you did not know was there, and strengthened for a future you could not yet imagine. You are not forgotten. You are preserved. But if collapse was the turning point for Elijah, then what comes after collapse for you? When strength returns, what happens next? Elijah's journey from the broom tree led him into silence. 40 days of desert walking, no voices, no signs, nothing but emptiness. And in that silence, he discovered a truth deeper than fire, earthquake, or storm. He discovered the whisper. Your broom tree is leading you into silence, and silence will not be your punishment. It will be your revelation. Stay with me. Because in the stillness of the desert, you will learn the voice of God in ways the storm could never teach you. After the broom tree comes the desert. After collapse comes stillness. Elijah walked 40 days and nights into barren land. No crowd, no fire, no thunder, only silence. This is the part most fear, because silence feels like absence. You cry, and the heavens give no reply. You search, and no sign appears. You long for dreams and visions, and instead you are met with quiet emptiness. But this emptiness is not punishment. It is preparation, the classroom of the Spirit. Silence is where God teaches his most hidden lessons. Think of the desert. At first glance, it looks dead. Dry sand, endless horizon, no water, no life. Yet beneath the ground are rivers waiting for release. Seeds lie buried, carrying entire gardens within them. Life is hidden in places the eye cannot see. So it is with silence. It feels barren, but beneath the surface destiny is forming. The silence you endure is sacred. God is not withholding. He is training, stripping away noise and distraction until only his whisper remains. And whispers require closeness. That is why he draws you near. Elijah stood on Mount Horeb waiting for God's voice. First came a powerful wind, tearing through the rocks. But God was not in the wind. Then came an earthquake, shaking the ground. But God was not in the earthquake. Then came a blazing fire. But God was not in the fire. And after the fire, silence, a gentle whisper. And in that whisper was the Almighty. This is your training. To stop looking for God only in the dramatic. To stop demanding thunder and lightning, and instead to cultivate the sensitivity to hear the gentle whisper, the whisper that says, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. The silence is shaping within you a prophetic ear, an ability to recognize God's presence when others miss it. Most demand signs and wonders, but those set apart are called to walk by whisper, by the quiet nudge, by the hidden signal only the Spirit detects. This is why you feel isolated, why you feel set apart. Not everyone is meant to hear what you hear. Not everyone is tuned to heaven's frequency, but you are. And silence is how God is tuning you. Look around at the world. Constant noise, screens screaming, opinions colliding, every voice demanding your attention. And yet, in the silence, clarity comes. In the silence, truth emerges. Your soul is recalibrated to the voice that matters. Do not despise this season. Do not fear the desert, because the desert is not abandonment, it is alignment. God is pulling you from distractions so he can reveal his whisper. And once you master hearing him in silence, the storm will never shake you again. But here lies the deeper mystery. If silence trains your ears, why must the fire follow? Why, after stillness, do we pass through flames? Why does destiny demand the furnace after the desert? The answer is hidden in the refiner's work. Silence prepares your ears, but fire prepares your heart. Silence teaches you to hear, but fire teaches you to endure. Silence makes you sensitive, but fire makes you unshakable. Your next step is the refining fire, not to destroy you, but to strip away everything false. So only your true identity remains, shining like gold. Stay close, because in the next part we step into the furnace, and you will see why the fire is not your enemy, but your purifier. You have walked through silence. You have endured the desert, where nothing spoke, where nothing seemed alive. But now the temperature shifts. The air grows hotter. The flames surround you. This is the fire, the refining fire. And hear me, the fire is not accident or punishment. It is the hand of the refiner. The one who chose you knows only the furnace can reveal what is truly within. Think of gold. In its raw form, it is covered in dirt and impurities. Valuable, but hidden. The only way to free the treasure is through fire. The heat strips away what does not belong. The flame melts what is false, until only pure gold remains. You are that gold. Your trials have not been meaningless. Disappointments, betrayals, delays, heartbreaks, they have been the furnace. And though the fire burned fiercely, it did not destroy you. It has been exposing what is eternal inside you. Scripture says, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver." Malachi 3:3. Notice he sits. He does not walk away. He does not leave the furnace unattended. He watches, measuring the heat, controlling the process. A refiner knows the silver is ready when he sees his reflection in it. And your fire will not last a moment longer than necessary. The process ends the moment Christ can see his reflection in you. Do you remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Thrown into a furnace so hot the guards were consumed by the flames, yet when the king looked inside, he saw 4 men walking freely, and the 4th looked like the Son of God. The fire did not bind them, it freed them. The ropes burned away, but their bodies were unharmed. The furnace became their testimony. Do you see the pattern? The very flames meant to destroy became proof of God's presence, and the same is true for you. If the fire is hot, it means the Son of God has already stepped in with you. Your scars tell the story. Every wound, every tear, every season you thought you would not endure. They are not marks of shame, but marks of glory. They declare, I walked through the fire and I survived. The fire does more than refine, it preserves. It protects what is holy by burning away everything counterfeit. This is why your process has been harder than most, because your assignment demands purity. Your calling requires authenticity. I know the nights of anguish felt endless. I know you asked, why me? But understand, the higher the calling, the hotter the fire. And the hotter the fire, the purer the vessel. Your pain has not been wasted. Your fire has been producing eternal weight, a glory that will outshine the ashes of your past. And here lies the mystery. Have you wondered why you have not been consumed? Why, after all you faced, you are still standing? Why, when others fell, you endured? The answer is this: you have been preserved, kept, shielded, hidden in plain sight. Because your story is not ending in fire, it is being prepared for revelation. Your survival is not random. Your endurance is not accidental. You have been preserved for such a time as this. And now comes the next stage, seeing why heaven kept you hidden when others were lost. Stay close, because next we step into the mystery of preservation, the hidden hand of God that shielded you in silence and fire, preparing you for the moment of unveiling. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I still here? After the fire that should have consumed you, after the storms that should have broken you, after nights when you begged not to wake again. And yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still searching for meaning. This is no accident. You have been preserved, not forgotten, not abandoned. A hidden hand has kept you. A divine covering shielded you when others fell. The very fact you survived what destroyed others is proof of preservation. Think of Israel in Egypt. While plagues struck the land, God's people were hidden in Goshen. Darkness covered Egypt, but in Goshen there was light. The destroyer passed through, yet the blood on the doorposts kept death away. You too have lived in Goshen, marked, covered, sealed. That is why the arrows missed, the waters did not drown, and the fire did not consume you. The psalmist declared, "You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance." Psalm 32:7. You have been hidden not because you are weak, but because your appointed time had not yet come. God hides what is valuable. He shields what carries weight. He preserves what has destiny written on it. Think of Moses. As a baby, he should have been killed under Pharaoh's decree, but he was placed in a basket, hidden among the reeds, carried by the current of divine preservation. And from that hiddenness came the deliverer of a nation. Do you see the parallel? You too were carried through currents you could not control, hidden in seasons that felt like abandonment, only to be revealed at the right moment. Think of Joseph, betrayed, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, imprisoned by false accusation. Yet all the while, he was being preserved, kept in obscurity until the appointed hour when he would interpret a dream and save nations. What looked like rejection was preservation in disguise. Your rejection was protection. Your delay was preservation. Your hidden years were not wasted. They were years of shielding and preparation. You were kept in secret because what is holy cannot be exposed prematurely. Pause and reflect. If the enemy truly had power to destroy you, you would not be here. If the fire had authority, you would be ash. If the storm had dominion, you would be drowned. But you remain, because you are preserved for purpose. Yet preservation can feel like punishment. Hiddenness can feel like exile. You looked around and saw others advancing while you remained in the shadows. And you asked, "Lord, why not me? Why am I still unseen?" The answer is this: what is ordinary can be displayed at once. But what is extraordinary must be hidden, refined, aged in silence until the time is right. Diamonds remain buried for ages before they shine. Wines of greatest value are aged in darkness before they are poured. And you are no different. Heaven hid you because your destiny is too precious to waste. Your unveiling is coming, but only after preservation completes its work. And now comes the deeper mystery. If you have been preserved, then for what? Why did God keep you when others were lost? The answer is resurrection. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you. Soon, what was hidden will rise. What was preserved will be revealed. What was covered will be unveiled in glory. Stay with me, because next comes the moment of rising, when the bed that once chained you becomes the altar of your resurrection. The time of silence shaped you. The fire refined you. The hidden hand preserved you. But now heaven speaks a new word: rise. The bed that once held you down will not hold you forever. The place where you wept will become the place where you worship. The same ground that carried your tears will carry your testimony. The Spirit of God is calling you to rise, not in your own strength, but in His. Think of Lazarus. 4 days in the tomb, wrapped in grave clothes, his sisters mourning. And yet, when Jesus cried out, "Lazarus, come forth," death released him. The tomb became a stage for resurrection. Can you see it? The bed that felt like your tomb is about to become your testimony. The heaviness that pressed you down will be the evidence of God's power lifting you up. You will not rise because you are strong, but because resurrection power dwells within you. Paul wrote, "The Spirit of Him who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, and He who raised Christ will also give life to your mortal body." Romans 8:11. This is not poetry, it is prophecy. The same Spirit that entered the tomb of Christ will enter your atmosphere and raise you. Your strength alone is not enough. Willpower cannot carry you. But you were never meant to rise by human effort. You rise by divine power. And when heaven commands it, no weight, no chain, no tomb can keep you down. Think back on the times you tried to rise and failed. The mornings you said, "Tomorrow will be different." The nights you vowed, "I will get up and change everything." And yet the heaviness returned. Do not be ashamed. Those attempts were not wasted. They showed you that human effort cannot break spiritual chains. But this rising is not in your name, it is in His. And that makes all the difference. Picture the sun breaking over a dark horizon, shadows fleeing as light stretches across the earth. Birds begin to sing. New day begins. This is what your spirit is stepping into, a resurrection season. The moment where what was hidden is revealed, what was silent begins to sing, what was lifeless begins to move again. Rise slowly if you must, but rise, step by step, breath by breath. Let each act of faith declare to heaven and testify to hell, "I am rising. I will not stay down." And remember, your rising is not only for you, it is for those watching. When Lazarus came out, many believed in Christ. Your rising will cause others to believe. Your testimony will break chains for others. Your survival will spark hope in weary hearts. You rise as a signal, a light, a prophetic signpost that says, "If God raised me, He can raise you too." But rising is not the end, it is the beginning. The question remains, why the bed, the broom tree, the silence, the fire, the preservation, and now the rising? Stay with me, because in the final revelation, I will show you the missing key, the truth most overlook, and when you grasp it, your entire journey will make sense. Every tear, every delay, Every weight will align under one prophetic truth. You have walked through the weight of the bed. You have sat beneath the broom tree with Elijah. You have endured silence, fire, and hidden years of preservation. And now you are rising with strength not your own. Here is the final revelation, the one heaven saved for last. Everything you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. Every tear watered the soil of your destiny. Every silence sharpened your hearing. Every fire burned away what was false. Every hidden season protected what was holy inside you. Your survival was never random. Your delays were not meaningless. Your isolation was not abandonment. It was the careful hand of God shaping you, molding you, guarding you. So when the time came, you would be ready to carry the weight of your calling. This is the truth most miss. They see pain as failure. They see weakness as a curse. But you must see differently. It is evidence of your chosenness. If you were ordinary, the warfare would have destroyed you. But because you are marked, you were preserved for purpose. Do you feel it now? The weight lifting. The chains breaking. The bed no longer holding you down. Heaven is declaring, it is finished. It is time. Rise. Your destiny is not ahead of you. It is already within you. The fire only revealed it. The silence tuned it. The preservation protected it. Now comes the unveiling. So stand tall. Lift your head. Declare with your mouth, I am rising, I am preserved. Say it until it sinks into your spirit. I am rising. I am preserved. And let us seal this word together in prayer. Father, I thank you for every heart listening now, for every weary soul pressed down by heaviness. I declare new strength, divine clarity, and resurrection power. Let every chain be broken. Let every lie be silenced. Let every destiny come forth in fullness. And let the Spirit that raised Christ from the dead breathe life into them now, in the name of Jesus. Amen. If this word spoke to you, do not leave without acting. Like this video, not as routine, but as agreement. Subscribe, not as a click, but as alignment with what was spoken. And type in the comments, I am rising. Seal it as a decree, as your faith made visible. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, because this word is not just for you, it is for the tribe heaven is gathering. You did not stumble here. You were guided. You are rising, and nothing will ever hold you down again.